Have you joined us this morning? We're taking a look at the headlines. I have me the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post, the Premium Times, amongst a bunch of other papers there. Let's start off with the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. Banditry, absence of telecom coverage, fuels killings in southern Kaduna. Ipman opposes Tinubu subsidy removal plan, queues return. My cabinet members feared being jailed by Buhari, as a statement credited to Jonathan. I won't abandon Atiku, Daily Momodu says. Federal government borrowed 6 trillion naira from CBN in 2022. That's according to a report from the business pages of the Punch this morning. Plateau governor laments 200 billion naira debt, warns terrorists. Elsewhere, teenager stabbed to death over slippers ownership. 10 things to know about late Raymond Dokpesi. Mother, 2 daughters found dead in Lagos shop. You find that one in the Metro Plus pages of the Punch newspaper this morning. Take some more. I look forward to working with Tinubu, says Biden. Tinubu makes history as first former governor, senator to be president. Makindary appoints COS, replaces CPS. And lastly, from the Punch, Edo LP vows to win LG elections.
Right now, even out to the cable NG, quite a number of top stories here. And of course, it says, I look forward to a stronger friendship. King Charles congratulates Tinubu on inauguration. UK-US send goodwill messages to Tinubu, pledge support for his administration. Labour Party, Tinubu's inaugural speech was shallow. Nigerians shouldn't allow APC ruin the country. Another one here says that 28 governors take oath of office, and that was yesterday. Queues returned to Lagos, Abuja after Tinubu's petrol subsidy removal speech. You shouldn't have left us on a date like this. Tinubu, Atiku, PDP, Mon, Dokpese. I look forward to working with you, Biden. Congratulates Tinubu on inauguration. Ganduji's administration left over 241 billion naira debt, says Abba Yusuf. And of course, Radio Now mourns Dokpese, says his passion for journalism touched life and will take some more hope of many Nigerians is renewed. Betara congratulates Tinubu. We have high hopes you will perform. PDP Governors Forum congratulates new members. And the last one here says there's much work to be done. Can congratulate Tinubu on momentous inauguration.
Over to the Nation newspaper. My plans by President Bola Tinubu is a feature there. Elsewhere, experts back president on subsidy, exchange rate policies. UK, US, Saudi Arabia envoys, others in bilateral talks with Tinubu. Biden to Tinubu, I will work with you. Elsewhere, Buhari renames 15 airports after self, Awolowo, Akintola, Okadigbo, others. Okay, Tinubu leads tributes galore for media mogul Dokpesi. Buhari back in Dara, Oshimbajo in Ikene. Some of the stories there from the Nation. I'll take some more. Can to Tinubu, Nigeria needs decisive leadership. Gbaja Biamila Oyetola, Akredolu Omagege. Expect better days ahead. Diocese seeks divine guidance for Tinubu Sanwo-Olu. Tinubu, dawn of a new era, is another piece there from the Nation newspaper. You want to grab a copy of the Nation newspaper this morning for all of those stories and more.
All right, now to the Vanguard newspaper, there are also some top stories here. And of course, the big story says the thanks NAS leadership we need. And this also says, did Buhari lose weight in 8 years? And that's a question mark. Buhari's huge party debt profile. And of course, the paper is also talking about options before Tinubu and his critics. May 29th, time to re-examine our assumptions. Peter Obi is handing that down. Inauguration bidding congratulates Tinubu, seeks to sustain U.S.-Nigeria relations. Petrol price jumps to 350 naira per litre as queues return. 28 governors take oath of office, promise rapid development of states. And of course, there are more stories here of Beverere appoint Ahon as CPS. And of course, that's Delta State. NLC fault subsidy removal as man. Nasima orders Hill Unified Forex. And from the sporting arena, Real Madrid striker Benzema mauling exit amid £200 million Saudi Arabia offer. And the last one here says Tinubu hits ground running, removes fuel subsidy.
Headlines from the Premium Times newspapers this morning. Fuel queues hit Abuja, other cities as Tinubu announces subsidy removal. Elsewhere, 8 years in office, Buhari failed to deliver promises on gender equality. Profile, Bola Tinubu, the kingmaker, becomes Nigeria's president, 16th leader. Scorecard, how Nigeria's agriculture sector fared under Buhari. Tinubu Shettima sworn in as Nigeria's new leaders. Profile, Kashim Shettima, the accidental governor, who is now Nigeria's vice president. Also, some more headlines, how AIT founder Raymond Dokpesi died. UNICEF vaccinates 30 million Nigerian children in 5 years. Official. New Kano governor fires Ganduje's appointees. Revokes sales of government properties. UK, US, Saudi Arabia envoys, others in bilateral meetings with Tinubu pledge support. US President Biden congratulates Nigerians on Tinubu inauguration. Tinubu makes first appointment. Names chief protocol officer. Tinubu to grow Nigeria's GDP by 6%. Unify multiple exchange rates. Tinubu, my administration will feature women, youth prominently.
All right, now to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and this says Governor Yebandi presents Oba Ogundan on staff of office July 14. SMEs catalyst for economic growth. That's what experts are saying. Dokwesi's death, root shock, vacuum difficult to fill. Lagos PDP is coming up with that. And more latest news here from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper says Senator-elect Ali commends Olubadan CFR enlistment. Dr. C. Nigeria's lost a patriot. PDP is still talking. Tinubu will reposition, put Nigeria on path of economic prosperity. APC Professional Council is saying that Tinubu's inauguration new dawn for Nigeria, and that's according to Khan. Reps Minority Caucus, Mons Chief Raymond Dokpasi. Cleric flays Tinubu Obi orders over failure to attend Tinubu's inauguration. And this also says Akintoye Mons Egbeleye Ekiti ex-deputy governor Ogunleye. Traditional worshippers hold special prayer for Tinubu Makinde in Iseyin. But Biamila hails Tinubu on inauguration as Nigeria's 16th president. And of course, the last one here says existing laws on traffic, waste management, street trading will be enforced. That's according to Makinde.
All right, to take some headlines from the Daily Post. I have no doubt that Biamila predicts what will happen to Nigeria under Tinubu. Tinubu condoles Dar Communications family over Dokpesi's death. Can congratulate Tinubu on inauguration as president. Bold move, Renault mockery reacts as Tinubu removes fuel subsidy. My second term, a divine mandate, Bauchi governor Mohammed declares as he takes oath of office. Governor Sani promises to run all-inclusive government in Kaduna is another headline there from the Daily Post. To take some more drama, as Kano Governor Abba Yusuf rejects official seat used by Ganduje. There's a video trending on socials yesterday, that one. Elsewhere, withdraw your petitions. Ebonyi Governor in Wifuru urges PDP, Abgas, Guba opponents. Okay, take one more from the Daily Post this morning. Join hands with Sonolu for a better state. Group urges Lagos residents.
All right, before we take that moment, The Guardian also has a couple of headlines there. Scarcity trails, subsidy removers, Tinubu begins house cleaning. Of course, this is saying house cleaning, definitely. Controversy over Kali Air Assets, 900 million naira debt to aero contractors. Lawyers kick against calls to stop simultaneous judges' vacation. No opposition to blame as Tinubu Mount Saddle gets bidding support. And of course, from the sporting arena, we're ready for Argentina, says Flying Eagles. And of course, it says Daura Emirates to celebrate Buhari today. And the last one here says Abiodun sworn in reverses death sentence on 3 convicts, pardons 49 inmates.
All right, we'll take some commercials. When we come back, we'll delve into the analysis and, of course, take your thoughts. Stay with us.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Babe, how we want to pay for baking course? With small money where person they make.
Course? No, because I be bake like pro. No worry, I get plan.
You get plan.
I
I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the INT'L Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141 *514 hash now to enjoy 2 gigabytes of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every day for just 500 naira.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Tecno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera, enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Tecno, stop at nothing.
I will lift up mine eyes to the hills. My help comes from the Lord. Experience God's mighty power, working miracles, transforming lives and destinies through His anointed servant, Prophet Taiwojo, at 72 Hours with God from Friday 9th to Sunday 11th of June. Theme, Help from Above. Join us with your loved ones to receive the help you need from God. Every struggle and sorrow shall be terminated by God's supernatural presence and power at Mercy Camp Osengiri Ibadan from Friday 9th to Sunday 11th of June. Ministering Prophet Taiwojo and other anointed ministers of God. Music ministrations by Bukola Akinade Shanwele Jesu, Bisi Alawiye Aluko, Elijah Akintude Olorun Sobe, Benga Adenuga, Bridget Adenubi, Atinuke Eri Majemo, and many others. Please note, we shall be rounding off early Monday morning. For more information, please call 0902 011 3558. 72 Hours with God. Come, don't miss it.
Naija people, with the yarn better tori abeg.
For Italian league, Osimhen and goals can't be like 5 and 6. Bruh, the Ballon d'Or remain no.
Jaruma. Only you? 250K for phone call. 1 million kwa for face-to-face meeting.
No one tells a story like we do. Stream live football, local and international shows on Showmax, Africa's original streaming service. Sign up at showmax.com.
Ọmọ ikọ̀ ẹ̀yìn gan lásán.
Ẹ wo, mo ti lo oògùn ó ti sú mi.
Yé, àṣìlò oògùn, ìyẹn ò dáa.
Kí ni kí n wá ṣe nígbà tí mi ò lówó ilé ìwòsàn?
Kí ni? Nígbà tí ètò ìlera INT'L and Axamansard wà nílẹ̀. Òótọ́ ni, pẹ̀lú ètò ìlera INT'L Axamansard, o láǹfààní láti rí dókítà, gba ìwòsàn, àtọwọ́ ìwòsàn tó tó $1,100 náírà. Testa 141*44# báyìí láti yan ètò tó tẹ́ ọ lọ́rùn.
INT'L, a reason to imagine.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome back. 32 FM 94.9, the Break It Dawn Papers Review. My name is Kenny Duratilu.
And I'm GBOLABO Female School. And of course, we already have Mr. Austin Udume with us in the studios this morning. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, GBOLABO. Kenny, good morning.
All right, good morning, Austin.
Happy post-inauguration.
Yeah.
Maybe we should say that.
Yeah, thank you. It was a peaceful inauguration. If not to celebrate, at least we have it at a stretch, 24 years unbroken.
Right.
It's really worthwhile. Thank God by now we are not shedding innocent blood. Thank God by now we are not killing ourselves. If that alone, I think we really have to give glory to the name of the Almighty God. Let's hope for the best.
All right, let's start off with the inauguration speech. I'm sure you listened to that one and you have some thoughts as regards that one. People have spoken extensively about it, their opinions on that. But I'd like to get your thoughts, Austin, on our new president's plans coming into this, seat.
Yes, the plans are very lofty. If you look at the speech of Mr. President, no doubt you will always find a very good speech in the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I spoke with someone later yesterday, and the fellow said, "Oh, the speech of Mr. President, that he is beginning to have a kind of rethink, because that fellow is never a Tinubu's fan."
Yeah.
I said, we do not lack good speeches in the country. In short, we have some of the best speech writers in Nigeria.
Right.
But how does
that translate?
This eloquent speech translate into reality? Of course, the president did admit that it is no longer time for politics, that he's seeing every Nigerian as one, that he has come as a president to govern, not necessarily to rule. Want to see practical steps. Of course, the idea of a purposeful government is to hit the ground running. So let's see how Mr. President will be able to bring all of this together, because we have myriads of problems: economy, security, hunger, and what have you. Want to see some area of quick attention. Let the president come up with actionable plan, things that quickly can address the yearning and the aspiration of the people. I said the other time, I said a lot of people seems not to want this president, but there are things he can do to disappoint some of these people who feel that, oh, he's the same, he's APC versus APC and APC, so nothing good can come up. Let the president prove beyond reasonable doubt through policies and programs of government that will address the yearning and the aspiration of the people. I must admit this, there is huge expectation gap. The expectation gap during the time Buhari took over in 2015 is like triple of what we have today. Because at that time, people felt that, oh, Buhari is the answer. But shortly into his administration, a lot of people realized that Buhari government was a colossal failure. But here is another opportunity. Let Mr. Tinubu start the administration on a very sound note. Some of the things he promised during the electionary campaign, he should start implementing them. And it is not just about speech. It is not just about this is what I want to do. You are now in government officially. The other time people blame you for bringing Buhari. You said, no, you can help somebody to find a job. You can't help the person to do the job. Now it is your turn. You said you are a kingmaker. You have been serving people. You want people also to serve you. You have a golden opportunity, and the time has started ticking. It's 4 years, less than 1 day today. A time will come, it will be less than 24 hours. So Mr. President should get down to business, address the myriads of problems that we have in Nigeria. However, we are not expecting a miracle, but definitely we want some areas of changes so that Nigeria can heave a sigh of relief in terms of good impact of governance.
But now, how do we explain the frenzy that we're already seeing in terms of fuel hike? 350 naira per litre is a lot of money. And of course, people had waited for that speech to come. And I know, as a matter of fact, that many depot owners and all of these transporters, they had been waiting also patiently to hear from the president. That's the newly inaugurated president here, talking about Tinubu on the fuel subsidy. Now, would we say he made a tacky statement without actually backing it up with certain realities? Like, he didn't talk about the $800 million, for instance, that was procured by his predecessor here in terms of palliatives. And secondly, he didn't talk about what the process will look like if subsidy was going to be removed. Now, it appears that people have jumped on it, and the marketers, the owners of depots are shutting down, and now queues have returned. Apprehensions are there. Now, would we say the president made some kind of statement that he didn't actually give enough background to?
The statement of the president is very clear. He said there were no budgetary provision for subsidy,
which we know already.
For subsidy as from July 1st, that subsidy is gone. You understand? See, I think the government too will also have to check it. That we must not always try to profit or take advantage from every bad situation in the country. The president has not said that subsidy ceases to exist yesterday. He didn't say so. He said there's no provision for subsidy. Subsidy is gone. We have a timeline. There is still budgetary provision for subsidy between now and the end of June. Why are people shutting down their station? Obi, Tinubu and Atiku, they said they would remove subsidy if voted into office. And the president came yesterday. He had to talk about subsidy. Of course, the federal government has an agreement with IPMA and the key players in the downstream oil sector that even if you are going to remove subsidy, that was the conversation before Tinubu, that if you are going to remove subsidy, let Dangote refinery come on board fully. It's expected to start operation by July this year. The Port Harcourt refinery, what is the state of the Port Harcourt refinery? We have modular refineries in Edo State and I think in Akwa Ibom. That was the agreement between the NLC and IPMA and some other players within the oil sector. So the statement of Mr. President does not suggest that subsidy ceases to exist yesterday. It's a thing that we are waiting for, and it is no longer sustainable economically. And the president couldn't have concluded his inaugural speech without making mention of subsidy.
But is it a completed speech? That's the question I'm asking. And now what happens to the moribund refineries we already have, apart from Dangote? Dangote is a private investor here. And we know that the government too has a stake. But then we've not heard anything in terms of what the government is going to do about existing refineries we have already. Are they all gone too with the subsidy removal?
Tinubu just took over yesterday. And he talked about the fact that the document I have, he said it. He said there's no longer budgetary provision for subsidy in the beginning from the second half of the year. He said, I've also heard a lot of people have talked about it. He made the pronouncement. Now he's in office. He will deploy his own strategy and measure on how to seamlessly remove subsidy without adverse ripple effects on the people. He couldn't have been talking about Dangote refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, something he has no information about. He barely just wants to settle down in office. He's only saying that this is the promise I made, that I will not continue to finance increasing budgetary provision for subsidy. Don't forget, subsidy payment increases almost on a daily basis. And the government said it's not sustainable. The government that is going is saying it's not sustainable. And they have given a timeline. And the government that just took over said there's no longer provision, so it's going to go, preparing our mind. So those that are shutting down their fuel station, I don't know what they seems to derive from that. I agree. Let the government, beginning from today, sit down again, look at some of this issue, talk to stakeholders in the industry, and see how it can be achieved. Because any comment as far as subsidy or petroleum product is concerned, marketers will capitalize on that to inflict untold hardship on the people. Because even if subsidy is going to end, those marketers that are shutting down their fuel station now, don't they have products? Do they buy this product at increased price? So why do they want to inflict untold hardship on the people? That's the truth. You and I know that even with Buhari, subsidy will go by end of June. And the government is coming and say, yes, this is what I meant on ground. This is how it's going to be. So let it come up with its own strategy on how to deal with the situation. Gone are those days where the masses will be left at the mercies of few business and entrepreneurs in the country. I think this administration need to address that in a different way, wherein you will make statement. At the end of the day, people will capitalize on that to inflict pain on the people at the expense of the government. That is not supposed to be. So let the government sit down. The statement has come. What are the modalities? How are you going to remove subsidy? What phases will it take? Is it in a single swoop? What of the agreement between the NSC and the federal government? Is it still practicable? Is it still workable? Don't forget that agreement was with Buhari administration. So Tinubu need to come up with his own template. He said he want to favor the masses. He said he want to do something to drive good governance so that the people will benefit. Because according to him, he says subsidy payment does not benefit the vulnerable. It profit and benefit the extremely rich people. So how is going to reverse the trend? and ensure that there is a kind of wealth redistribution along that line. That is what we are patiently waiting for. The statement of Mr. President does not signify that subsidy is gone from yesterday. So marketers must be very careful, and I think the federal government should address the situation frontally.
All right, we'll take a look at some other stories now. We understand that some of the governors, the new governors, have met huge debts or, an empty treasury. For example, Dauda Dare, the new governor of Zamfara State, he's cried out saying that he met an empty treasury, while the new Plateau State governor, Caleb Mutfwang, said he inherited a state with a debt burden of 200 billion naira. Your thoughts on this, Austin?
Yes, debt burden, I agree. Because some of these states pile up debt without caution. Even the federal government, they just immediately pass federal government. I think they have appetite for borrowing, even borrowing for consumption. So if some of these states that are coming up, they talk about huge debt burden, I agree. But an empty treasury, I think I have addressed this issue times without number. A treasury of a state cannot be empty. That's the truth. Those who are saying that they are merely playing politics, I give you two examples. When President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, he also talked about meeting an empty treasury. And within a few days after assumption of office, he decided to bail out states. Where did he get the money from? Did he bring the money from his home? When Seyi Makinde also took over in 2019, he talked about a bankrupt state. And right there on the podium at the swearing-in ceremony, he gave order that within 24-hour salary of civil servant be paid for the month of May. Where did he get the money from? So no state can be empty in terms of money. But if you talk about huge debt burden, I agree. I think people should be meant to account for their stewardship in office. I also have a way of saying this. How I wish we can get to a level in the country, if that is possible anyway, that once you are voted into office for 4 years, every of your loan obligation must be within that 4 years. The idea of simply plunging the future into unnecessary debt, I think, is becoming alarming, and we have to work on that. You see states piling up debt that they know within themselves that they cannot pay off, and at times we talk about 77 trillion that the federal government is sowing. That amount is a combination of state obligation in terms of foreign and domestic debt. So we have to watch it carefully. So some of these, let them come out. Those governors that have gone that say, oh, they left money in their covers, let them come up with detail of what they left in the cover. But I tell you this for free. Some of these governors, when they get to office, that is how they make noise. When they are going, they become worse off. Go and check the profile of the people that have just left office now. That is what they have done, especially when the new government is coming from the opposition. It has always been like that. Those that the same party they are taking over now, it is not as if they didn't mess up. It is not as if there are no issues. But because it's the same party, you help me to get into power, and the primary purpose for that is for me to cover your trash. You understand? So not as if there are no issues, but they want to cover it up because they are a beneficiary of the same bad process. So let's watch it carefully. Those states that are having debt burden, some of them did not even pay salary, and they are having huge debt burden. It ought not to be so. Government should be transparent. Government should be for the people. Government should not be about debt alone. So we are urging the newly sworn in governor to be more creative. Let them be more enterprising. Let them think outside the box, because you must be able to look at the area of revenue generation, aggressive revenue drive, without necessarily have to involve in double taxation of the people. You can get more money. This idea of simply when you need money, you resort to cheap borrowing, that cannot help our economy. And you see the impact of that, the devastating impact of colossal borrowing in the system.
All right. Before we go on that break, Austin, quickly, let's look at this. Autumn to get 40 million naira allowance every 4 years and 2 SUVs and life pension. Now, this falls under the purview of life pension. During a plenary on May 25, 2023, the Benue State House of Assembly passed a lifetime maintenance bill for former elected governors and their deputies in the state into law. What is it that they are protecting now? Because if the state like Benue could be retained from blood in terms of bloodletting from insecurity, and now you have their ex-leaders collecting as huge money as what can fix the state. Does that add up? What is this thing about maintenance bill, lifetime maintenance bill for ex-governors of the state?
Yes, when we have civil servants that have not been paid in that state, I think Autumn admitted that he's having huge debt burden, salaries unpaid in the state. So why making provision for him? Have we also looted the state on one hand? You know, Autumn once in a while will come out as if, while he was governor, he will come out as if he's the man of the people. He want to whip up sentiment. He always criticize the president almost on a daily basis. And I tell you for free, go and check these governors, opposition governors that always criticize the president. Their own front is suffering. They are not doing what they are supposed to do. So they use criticism of the president to get national attention. And if anything happens, they whip up unnecessary sentiment to portray political coloration. So those governors have not done well. Autumn and some of the the immediate past governors, they didn't do well. You have not done well in your state, and now you have arrogated an entitlement to yourself, financial entitlement. That on its own is a burden, a huge financial burden on the state. You are entitled to free cars, SUVs. You are entitled to millions of naira. You are entitled to either accommodation in your choice location, in Abuja or any other place in the country. It is wrong. Leadership is about the people. Governance is about the good and the welfare, the prosperity of the people. Even if you are going to be entitled, what you earn enough, it should be enough for you.
10 to 11 months salary being owed.
It should be enough
of workers. Should you be entitled to anything?
That is what I'm saying. Even as a former governor, if you are going to be entitled to anything, the State House of Assembly should look at your record. Let them look at your record. If you have done well, of course you can be entitled to something. But for those who have not done well, who are owing salary, Autumn came out and said, oh, I'm owing salary, I'm owing debt, all of this, all of that. And that same governor had to sign off on a life pension bill.
Okay.
How do you marry that?
Okay, Asin, we'll continue that conversation after these messages. You want to stay with us?
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Our people, they always talk, say, to get money, person must to work with your body. But since star 73342 hash with Glow don't enter the matter, now only your hand you need to win instant money on Green Lotto with your Glow SIM. Yes, so just dial star 73342 hash on your Glow line to buy Green Lotto tickets with your airtime. Play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings as airtime or direct transfer to your bank account. Because instant money don't do your hands, yo.
Glow Unlimited.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣé o ti ra tìmùtìmù titun. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n tún fún mi lápò ìrẹsì pàápàá. ṣé lóòótọ́. òótọ́ ni. òótọ́ ni ra èyíkéyìí tìmùtìmù múkà ìbáà jẹ́ Flora tàbí Wellbeing pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rí méjì kó o sì gba àpò ìrẹsì kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. yọjú sí èyíkéyìí ojúlówó alágbàtà múkà jákèjádò Nàìjíríà láti rà á. àǹfààní yìí wà títí ọjà yóò fi tán ni. ó ní ìlànà àti òfin o. múkà àfikún sí ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn.
Capture life's moments in stunning clarity with the new Techno Camon 20 series. With sensor shift OIS technology on a 108 megapixel ultra-wide camera, enjoy the best smartphone experience brought to life in vivid colors with its 120Hz AMOLED display. That's not all. The Camon 20 series is the perfect steady night portrait master, so you can take splendid low-light photos at night out with friends. Buy any Camon 20 series today and get free gifts plus up to 11 GB MTN data for up to 6 months. Don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Techno, stop at nothing.
hours with God. Ọ̀sẹ̀ ìjẹrẹ̀yà látọjọ́ Friday náà. This Sunday 11th June. Àkórí tí ọlọ́run fún òní rẹ̀. Prophet Taiwo Òjó bàbá ẹ̀ sọ́jú orí afẹ́fẹ́. Help from above. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ látòkè. Ọjọ́ tó o bá ti rí ìrànlọ́wọ́ látòkè gbà. Ìlàkàkà dọ́pẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Nínú pàdé àdúrà yìí fẹ́rẹ̀ sí ọ̀run pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀kùn ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ọjọ́ pípẹ́ máa ṣí. Nípasẹ̀ ìfàmì òrùnyàn ọlọ́run aláyè lórí àwọn ìránṣẹ́. Àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí Bùkọ́lá kí Adéṣẹ́wọlé Jésù. Bísí Aláwìyí Àlùkò. Ìlàjà Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run Sọ́bẹ̀. Gbẹ̀ngà Adénúgà. Bridget Adénúbí. Àtinúkẹ̀rí Májẹ̀mú. Prophet Taiwo Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ máa sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Bàbá ti wọnú àdúrà lọ́jọ́ Friday náà. Ìdájí lọ́jọ́ Monday 12 la máa ṣorí ọ̀fẹ́ o. Láti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun tàbí Ìbàdàn. Ọ̀sẹ̀ ìjẹ́rẹ̀ ni ẹ máa bọ̀ Mẹ́síkà. Ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ máa pè 090
Play and Win show. Enjoy radio like never before. Radio that gives you more. Radio that makes you happier. Call in on your radio, play some game, and win some cool cash.
Let's do this.
Do what?
All I do is win, no matter what. 32 FM Play and Win game show every day from 2 to 2:30 p.m. on the Laughter Station, 32 FM 94.9. You are a listener. Get to call in on your radio, play some game with Lumi, and win yourself some fantastic prizes. I bet you don't want to miss this.
Babe, how we want to pay for baking course? With small money where person they make.
Course? No, because I be bake like pro. No worry, I get plan.
You get plan.
I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the INT'L Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141*514# now to enjoy 2 GB of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every day for just 500 naira.
Airtel, the smartphone network. 32 FM, 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to 32 FM 94.9. Of course, there's the Break It Down Papers review here, and it's right about time to open the phone lines and also take your comments on our socials. Do remember we're live on Facebook and also on YouTube. 32 FM 949 Ibadan, both on Facebook and YouTube. The numbers are 070-55000 949 or 080-97000 and for our international audience, plus 234 90 62,000 949.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Sola from Iwodo.
All right, let's hear you.
Thank you. The president yesterday said that, he said it clearly, there's no more subsidy. Why is Mr. Austin saying, oh, it's July, it's August? He said it yesterday. And do people know anything? Thank you.
All right, 0705 5949 or 809 7,949. You can also drop your comments on Facebook, 32FM 949 Ibadan.
Morning, Ken.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. First, let me congratulate every one of us for surviving the cruel leadership of the last government. At least that we survived. Now to this one that has just come in, I want to give him a room of doubt. Let's watch and see. With what Austin just said, I totally agree. We have very great speech writers. Probably let's see if the kingmaker that has now become the king, we are praying and hoping that he will actually turn it to reality and change our conditions and situations. Let's see what he will do. We will all look out. But I want to beg everybody, I think we should not leave him. Let's keep watching him. And once in a while, shout if we see him doing the wrong. Probably that was what we did that was not what we did not do in Buhari's time when he saw and he conquered us instead of conquering the problem. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much.
Over now to Facebook. Let's take some comments here. Raji Afiz Abiola Raja says, good morning, Kenny and GBOLABO. Congratulations to Asiwaju Tinubu on assumption to the office as Nigeria president. I wish him smooth running of his tenure. Honestly, Asiwaju delivered good speech yesterday, but it's one thing to make good promises and it is another to follow it up. Nigerians are expecting much on Tinubu government. Therefore, he needs to follow all the promises he made during the campaign period. Swearing in ceremony day, may God help Asiwaju to take Nigeria to promised land.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kenny.
All right.
Good morning, also. I want to give you information at Benue. Autumn home primary school teachers 7 months salary. Local government 11 months. Second teachers and 2 servants 16 months. And it's going on with that. And Mr. Flyover Governor in Rivers also owns salary. Now, I want to ask how these two states will survive. And they call themselves integrity group. Which integrity do we have? I want to congratulate our governor, Governor Shimakere, for the second term. He should please revisit minimum wage of workers. He said every 6 months he will be increasing the salary because workers are not getting 30,000 minimum wage. He should please place the leave bonus for secondary school teachers, and all the deductions. If you please release it, we need it. Have a nice time. God bless you. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you. 0705 5949 0829 7949. Those are the numbers. We'll take some more messages on Facebook.
And okay, Victor is saying Tinubu's first gift to Nigerians was subsidy remover. Is this not an indication of further hardships? And of course, that's a question mark. I know God will see us through. If we survive Buhari's regime, we'll definitely survive this one. God bless 32 FM.
Oh, right. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. I'm John Njoko. Thank you. Thank God for this week of General Retired Muhammad Buhari. I can only urge Nigerians this morning to pray for Asiwaju, for God to give him knowledge, wisdom, and foresight. For the benefit of us all. But we watch, we criticize, people begin to go wrong. And to those blaming Obi and others for not attending the inauguration suffering from short-sightedness, they did not blame them for going to court, for blaming them for not attending the inauguration. None unknown to this group that they be contradicting their mission of going to court by attending that activity. I'm John Susan Joko. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5949. Might just be able to take one more call before we go, but we still have some more messages in Facebook, don't we?
Honorable Akin Kumi Camille Dakola says, on the issue of queuing filling stations, let me remind them of what happened to banks during cashless policy. They should desist from taking advantage from Nigerians. I think this is on Nigerians here. Subsidy has not been removed. The president should bring back active discipline, PPPRA, to deal with the filling station.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother and my sister over there.
Morning, sir.
This is John Olariwaju from Agowo. Congratulations to President Tinubu. He has become a president now. I think he has also told us that he will hit the ground running, and there is no problem about that. And we wish him best of luck. All his promises that he rolled out yesterday, well, I pray that God will help him to fulfill them. So rolling out the promises is not enough. But fulfill the promises is the one that is greater. No. I'm not expecting to fulfill all the promises that he rolled out yesterday, or at least to make sure that he did like 60 or 65%. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Austin, before we go, just your final thoughts, hopes for the coming government, of course, the government, present government now, and all of that. Just your final
It's no longer coming here.
Yeah, it's here. It's here now.
Yes, let's hope that things will be done differently. Somebody talked about discipline. I think we should bring that back. Let the president's statement not be misinterpreted. He also talked about price board or consumer board. So he should ensure that some of these promises comes to reality as a matter of time with urgency, because there's no time to waste time. That's the truth. You might think you have 4 years. Before you know it, 4 years is gone. So the president must hit the ground running. I think NNPC and all the stakeholders in the petroleum industry, they're already talking about the hoarding of PMS. Right. There shouldn't be hoarding. The statement is already there that subsidy will be removed. The president is only preparing our mind. Don't forget, Shetima told us, I think 2 days to the inauguration, that there's going to be really tough decisions. Right. So let the president and the government look at the process so that Nigeria will not suffer unduly from the old exercise. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Austin Dumu. This is the way we call it wrap on the Break of Dawn paper review for today. My name is Kenny Durutilu.
And I'm GBOLABO Famous School. Bye for now.